And then I was off running myself because, and this big fella put in a chase after me. Yeah.
And he chased you?
Yeah, he was angry.
And then what? Did he get you?
Oh no, he's a big guy, he's a powerlifter.
Ah.
Right? Yeah. And
Hasn't been doing enough speed work.
No, well I was scared.
Why are you running?
Who are you?
What's it got to do with you?
4 months ago, all right? Until they clean up their yard, the rats won't go away.
We don't know it. Is this all hocus pocus?
Can you say, abracadabra, here's your pay?
I'm pretty fit, Abdullah. I can keep running.
Go. It's called a current affair Australia. Is that what I know?
Have a lovely day.
Hello, I'm Steve Marshall.
And I'm Lizzie Pearl, and welcome to this episode of That's ACA. This is where we reveal all of our secrets, don't we, Steve?
Well, most of them, but not all of them.
Some.
But we give people an idea as to what goes on behind the scenes at Australia's number one and much loved current affairs show called A Current
Affair.
How strange. What have you been up to, Lizzie?
Well, this week I've been out and about braving the chilly Sydney temperatures.
Yeah.
And I've gone for a run
Oh, yeah?
with a couple of 80-year-olds.
Oh, you're doing better than me. Hang on, 80.
Yep. They were
Right.
setting a pretty cracking pace too, Steve. I was put through my paces.
Who won this run?
Oh, look. Let's just say it was a draw.
I think that looks
But, you know,
better
they're
for
going
them.
pretty well to be running at that pace
Yeah.
well into their 80s. So,
Okay, this is a couple that agreed to have a current affair run beside them.
yes.
Which is a bit different to the usual scenario of a current affair racing after particular people.
Sometimes our running stories don't have willing participants. Let's just put it that way. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. People doing a runner. And there
Yeah.
is so much content to get through
I know,
because
God,
it's quite a regular occurrence here.
yeah. I think I'm just thinking the longest run that I've had. I think I clocked up more than 1.5 Ks. Chasing this guy, gosh, what was his name? Charlie. Mm-hmm. And Charlie was cloning apartment key fobs for people just on the down low for cash. So basically,
Wow.
he was doing this so that if you brought him a key fob to an apartment building, he would then clone it for, $100 and give it back to you. And so, no one was keeping track of these key fobs, so anyone could enter your apartment building. So it was a security issue.
So he's quite the entrepreneur, but he was quite
Yeah.
flight of foot.
Yeah, well, is he what? This is a few years ago when I was a bit quicker than what I am now. But Charlie, as soon as he saw us coming, because we had caught him red-handed, he was doing this cloning on camera, on video camera. He was recorded doing it, and he knew the game was up, the jig was up. What he didn't know was, I was quite fit back then.
Quite flight of foot as well.
Yeah. So Charlie did a runner. He soon left the cameraman and sound recordist in his wake after 20 metres.
Yeah.
But thank God for the trusty iPhone. And I knuckled down for a chase.
Uh-huh.
And Charlie led me on a merry race around Sydney CBD. Charles? Where are you running to, Charles? Why don't we talk about your business now? Why don't we talk about the business now?
Not get in. You're trespassing. This is my taxi.
I'd like to go on.
You're trespassing.
Well, let's talk about this business of yours. When it comes to running into trouble, Charles? Where are you running to, Charles? This bloke takes some catching. All right, we're in this for the long haul. So settle in, folks,
Business, Charles.
because Charlie's on the move.
You should be at the Olympics, Charles.
In a current affairs very own amazing race,
I should warn you, I came third in my high school cross-country jams.
which leads all the way to the boys in blue.
And in he goes again, a third time to the police station.
But just why is Charlie avoiding our questions? He was in sneakers, I was in my RMs. I tell you what, I think I've still got shin splints
Yeah.
from chasing this
Well,
bloke.
and it's hard for the cameraman and the sounder to
Yeah.
keep up in those situations because
Yeah.
they've got to carry all the gear.
Oh,
They're tethered to
yeah.
each other with a cord.
That's right.
And those cameras
they
are
weigh
pretty heavy.
Yeah, they weigh 15, 20 kgs.
Yeah.
So the cameraman and soundy can only go so far. And to
Mm-hmm.
their credit, they did put it. I think they put in a good 25-metre sprint,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But then it was just, you know, I was on my own with Charlie.
With your phone.
Yeah, and just, you know, running shotgun with him,
Yeah.
if you like.
And I loved watching this story back, Steve, because with all of this going on and you're crossing traffic and there's cars and people and you don't want to knock anyone over, you're still firing questions.
Yeah,
at
that's
him.
right.
And you did give him a pretty good warning about your athleticism. I think
Stamina.
I recall you telling him that you'd actually come third in your school cross country.
Yeah.
So he
I
knew what
think-
he was up
yeah,
against.
I might have embellished that result, Lizzie, perhaps. I know I did okay in the cross country, but, you know, I was in the RMs.
Yeah, that's
Not
hard.
a great choice of
Yeah,
footwear.
they're slippery as well.
But old Charlie, he, would you believe where he ran? He ran straight into the police station in the rocks.
But
Yeah.
I guess he thought he was going to get some protection in there.
Yeah.
But no.
No. The coppers inside just looked at him and then looked at us. And I was at the door and I said, "We're from a current affair." They were like,
Chuck the door open.
shrugged the shoulders. And then he came out. He realised he wasn't safe in there, old Charlie, and came out and did another bolt. You know, I think at the time our EP Grant Williams, who was a king of promos back in the day, the promo this one was Insane Bolt. It was ahead of the Olympics.
Yeah. But he
Yeah.
even jumped in a cab and then you got in the cab with
Yeah.
him. And then he said you were trespassing in his taxi. I don't know the legalities around that, but it sounds a bit far-fetched.
Anyway, look, that's not the only runner we've had, is it?
No, we've had many, many over the years. Dan Nolan loves a bit of a chase, one of our
Yeah.
Queensland reporters now. He has a couple to his repertoire, one of which was involving a guy who was in court because he got caught putting hidden cameras in a property where there were some females living.
Right.
And the girls found the cameras, came to us with the footage. So they've videoed themselves finding the camera. Then they've sent those pictures also to the police. So that's when the police got involved. But this guy, he's come out of court and he's decided his strategy is just to leg it.
Yeah.
But Dan went with him.
Dan, this is surprising because Dan, you know, he's a lean man.
Yeah.
But he showed a good, you know,
He
turn
gave-
of pace, didn't he?
did, but the funny
Yeah.
thing was he actually did an interview about this story afterwards, and he was asked, you know, are you quite fit? And he's like, no.
No, that's what I mean.
Have you
right?
got good stamina? No.
No.
But he said the adrenaline took over because
Yeah.
he'd met these victims, he's spoken to them and seen their heartache, and
Yeah.
he just thought, I've got to get this guy. And adrenaline took over, and, you know, he kept up with him.
He's spot on there, Dan, with that word adrenaline, because it does. It does. You know, when someone does do a runner, and we can talk a bit about the psyche of someone doing a runner, but from the psyche of a reporter, that when someone, you know, fronts, when you see that person and you want to, you know, put questions to them and they bolt, you know you're on the right side of the law because you're armed with these questions and you want to get these questions to this person, because without this person we don't have a story.
No.
And you know, you just do what's required, you know, within the law.
Yeah.
And there's nothing against the law to say you can't
If
you know,
they're
put
gonna
questions
run-
to someone, and whether that's running or walking or sitting down, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And Dan had another one involving he's called Daniel McSweeney, but they were calling him McSwindle because, you know, some of his people that he'd had dealings
Yeah.
with had come to us. They'd lost thousands and thousands of dollars in superannuation. And McSwindle saw our camera, saw Dan Nolan, and also bolted.
Daniel, what are you running for? Daniel, come back.
At the first sight of our cameras, he was off.
Daniel, where are you running, mate? You can run, but you can't hide.
Leaving me to take up the chase on foot with an iPhone.
You know how bad this looks, mate?
Through backyards and apartment blocks until eventually he ran out of steam.
What have you done with Lynn's money?
I'm working on resolving the issue.
She's lost her life savings.
I'm working on it now.
Similar situation where had to lose the camera crew and the soundo, and so it's just Dan with his phone running through neighbourhoods.
Yeah.
Finally, he got a bit out of puff and stopped and did answer some questions, to which, where's Lynn's money? And he says he's working on it.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
yeah, sure.
And Dan was finally joined by the crew. Which,
Yes.
good on the crew.
They caught
for
up. Yeah, I mean,
catching
they've
up,
got the
right?
toughest job in all of this because, as we said, they are carrying all that gear. But yeah, it's this was a woman who was a victim of financial issues, and Dan had obviously met with her. She was in tears. She's lost her life savings, and Dan's have got that impetus to catch up with this guy and ask him some questions, because how else are you going to get the answers?
That's right. And these people, they don't care where they run. They're off, down people's property, down alleyways, inside buildings, outside buildings, into car parks, into taxis, out of taxis. And you just got to do what you got to do, right? And
Well, it looks like something out of a movie, but it's not.
And Maggie, one of our Sydney reporters, put in the hard yards the other week as well.
Yeah, she did. She was after a landscaper, and he'd been taking thousands of dollars from would-be clients and doing not very much work.
Yeah.
They were obviously upset. He's ended up in court, and it was all on as well. As soon as he saw our cameras, took off, legged it.
And so Mags was in, high heels, boots?
Mags was in heels, as she always is.
But she's a runner.
She is a runner.
Yeah, she's a
Maggie
marathoner.
runs marathons.
Yeah,
So if anyone
that's a warning.
sees Maggie, just know that before you try this again.
She's got the medal to prove it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she's at court.
But hang on, someone was missing from a crucial component of the team was missing.
And we're all humans. Sometimes we need to go to the bathroom. At this particular point, when they've spotted the landscaper, Drew.
Cameraman Drew.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, has celebrated 50 years in TV.
Yeah.
So even after 50 years in TV, you think Drew knows the right moment to go to the loo.
When you got to go, you got to go. So he was in the bathroom when our landscapers made an appearance. But the good thing is, what we all do now is there's a GoPro on the boom pole. So the soundo is capturing sound, but he's also got a very wide locked off shot from a GoPro. So we are covered in these situations, thankfully.
Yeah.
So and that's what's happened in this instance.
So Drew's finished up, flushed the toilet, and there's something going on outside that he has no idea about.
But he did recover quite quickly.
Yeah.
So we do have the pictures, and you can hear Maggie telling this landscaper, Abdullah, I'm pretty fit. I can keep running.
Yes, and she can.
And she can.
She can. But Drew, good on Drew for catching up. I mentioned he's 50 years in TV, and so he's in his late 60s, poor Drew. So late 60s, maybe he needs to go more often these days.
I don't know. We probably
We'll
should
get him in.
We should get
We'll
Drew
get-
on
we'll get
because
Drew
he's got some
Yeah.
stories. So he will be a guest coming up on the podcast. 50 years worth of stories
Wow.
in television.
Yeah, that's worth a pod, that one.
That is definitely worth a pod. But good on Maggie. I do need to give some points to the ladies
Yes.
because we do all this in heels. So you're whinging about your RM Williams. Try doing it in heels.
I think we might have a marketing opportunity here, or even a sponsorship for the pod. So,
Why not?
A new range of footwear.
Yes.
Crocs. What?
Right.
So running
shoes you
Crocs
can
or
shoes you can
high-
wear to work, but also
Crocs that are high heels. Hocks. Should we call them
I don't know if
hocks?
Crocs would be good for chasing after people. Not much grip.
Oh, yeah, but plenty of spring in the
They're
sole.
light.
Yeah, easily packable.
It's a good lesson though. Maybe we should just wear sneakers to work every day, just in case.
Yeah, but you do have to think about what you're going to wear on your feet, when you approach certain jobs, because
Well, when I was the court reporter here, I remember going up to wardrobe once and I said, I need some heels that I can run in. And the wardrobe girls looked at me like, what are you talking about? So in the end, we ended up getting me a little, because I'm short, I need to wear heels, I'm 5 foot tall. We ended up getting me a little shoe with a buckle so that I could run up and down the stairs after the people in and out of court. I know people don't think about these things, do they?
No,
Yeah.
no. Yeah. Look, it's one of the few jobs, apart from being a police officer, that you go to work thinking you might be chasing someone, isn't it?
Yeah, and it can happen.
Yeah.
It does happen.
Yeah.
Now, we do need to get on to other situations where the chaser has become the chasee.
Oh yes. Oh.
And I think you've got a story about this.
a couple come to mind, but during COVID, during the pandemic lockdown, there was a bloke that ran a gym, and he was an Australian powerlifting champion. He was Australia's strongest man at the time. And I was sent out to go and ask him why he was ignoring the lockdown rules and putting people's health in danger, right? I didn't know it at the time, but I had already had a meeting with this man on another occasion for another story, which didn't go down too well.
Okay.
So my mind twigged when I arrived, going, hang on a minute, this bloke rings a bell, right? And there he was sitting outside on a chair while he had a gym member doing exercises, in front of him. It was his personal training, if you like. And we geared up at the car around the corner. That means getting the microphone on and getting all our checks in place with the camera, make sure all the sound's working. And we had nut out a bit of a plan because we're going to approach this bloke. His nickname was the Wolf. Ooh. Right? Yeah, the Wolf. Yeah. And he was sitting outside, and he's a big boy, strong man. And we wandered around the corner rolling, and I introduced myself, and he said, take a seat. I think he did, or I pulled up a seat to get on his level. He was sitting down. And after 2 questions, things went awry, and he jumped up and stand up and face me like a man sort of thing. And Drew, our cameraman that day, sort of said a few words, so it distracted him, and then I was off running myself because and this big fella put in a chase after me. Yeah.
And he chased you?
Yeah, he was angry. Yeah.
Wow.
Stand up, my man. Let's go.
What do you mean?
Stand up.
What do you mean?
Come to me and be hostile towards me. Stand up like a man.
I'm just here asking.
Stand up like a man. Use men.
I snapped, and I'm glad that I did.
No. F you. F you. Get the away now. I will sort you out. Do you understand? I don't
From
care, my man.
lockdown to smackdown.
Bring the cops down. And what are you going to do?
No.
What are you going to do?
I'm getting off.
What are you going to do? That's what I thought.
Okay.
Run away.
Hey.
What are you going to do?
Reese, I'm just here to ask you your
You're not
thoughts.
here to ask questions. You're here to start problems. And so are you supporting this bullshit. You're a joke. Go then. Go
Hey,
then.
well, you want to get to our car, you're stopping us leaving.
I'm not stopping shit. You can stand there like a coward.
And I can't get past you, Matt. I want to get to my car. Yeah, he was, he had the bit between his teeth. He chased me around the neighbourhood.
Wasn't happy?
No, across the road. Like there was a crowd out on the street watching this unfold. Yeah.
And
The
then
Wolf.
what? Did he get you?
Oh, no. He's a big guy. He's a powerlifter. Right? Yeah. And
Hasn't been doing enough speed work.
No, well, I was scared.
You had adrenaline on your side.
I think my feet barely touched the ground. I was off.
Flight or fight.
Yeah. But there's a classic, isn't there, in the ACA archives? Tim Arvia, who has since moved on to the reporting. Oh no, Tim's moved on to the Queensland.
Yeah, he's now
government,
working
right?
for the Queensland government.
Yeah, well, this
might come in handy.
That's right.
This story is extraordinary.
Pastor Steve.
I mean, this guy is a piece of work and quite a frightening looking guy as well.
Yeah.
And he'd been up to all sorts of things. A current affair got involved when a rental property that he was renting, the landlord was trying to do an inspection because some of the rent hadn't been paid. And that's when it was all on.
Yeah, definitely. So Pastor Steve reiterated something that Tim was putting to him, wasn't it? Yeah. And it's one of the classic all-time ACA lines, right?
It was a serial pervert con man.
Which he admitted to.
Which, well, courts had proven most of these things. So But yeah, this was sort of after it had all escalated
Yeah.
and he got quite violent. So, you know, we're laughing at it now, but it was quite violent at the time and it would have been absolutely frightening for Steve and for Tim and his crew.
Well, frightening for Pastor Steve initially, which then turned absolutely terrifying for Tim Harvey.
Yeah,
the
and the situation was almost over and Pastor Steve was in his car going away and Steve... Why am I calling him Steve? You're Steve. There's too many Steves. Tim Harvey just couldn't help but throw at him the serial con man pervert line, to which point he's got back out of the car and it's all on again for round two.
That triggered it.
You, David, you think you're smart? Mate, you have no idea who I am. If you go and ask the deuce, I'll tell you.
We have no idea who you are. You're a serial pervert con
You did
man.
the wrong thing. You would have got this place cleaned up.
Serial pervert con man, aren't you? That's who you are.
Camera. Come on, settle down. Come on. Settle down. Come on, come on, serial pervert. Come on.
You
Come
are?
on, that's right. Come on. Come on.
Cops are just there.
Get him up here. Come here, serial pervert. Come here. Little dog.
You know, there's loads of them out there. Lauren Goldman's got a good one where you know, she chased a lawyer who was trying to get 700 grand in compo for a little fender bender of an accident.
The
and went to court.
tiniest little fender bender you've ever imagined, and he was complaining of hip pain and knee pain, but the pain it just remarkably managed to disappear when he
the
was
camera appears.
Yeah, he was very nimble on his feet as he was chased inside, outside, up the stairs, down the stairs, also by Lauren in heels, may I add.
So let's talk about the psyche for a minute. On behalf of the person who we're trying to talk to, they see a camera coming, and the fact that they run tells you a little bit about that you're on the right side of the law.
And it also tells us perhaps that they might have been expecting this.
Yeah.
They might have been expecting it for a couple of weeks or months even, because when they see a camera, to have that reaction straight away, you know, a normal person who's done nothing wrong would be like, oh, that's a camera, that's interesting. These people see the camera and run. So it gives you an idea that perhaps they might have been expecting a foot chase.
Well, let that be a warning to the folks out there who are doing the wrong thing, that their current affair reporting and camera and sound staff,
we're willing to run.
We're willing to run and do whatever it takes
to
get that story.
Yeah.
You know, even if it means getting shin splints.
And needing your RMs resold.
Rolling an ankle in a heel.
Not sponsored by RMs.
Yet.
That could be.
Could be. Naomi, you onto that?
I'd
bit of
like
sponsorship.
I'd like some new Nikes if we're talking sponsorship. No, just kidding.
I'll buy you some Crocs. Or Hawks.
Or Hawks.
High heels in Crocs, yeah.
Yeah.
You can catch all those stories on, if you go to YouTube or 9 Now, you can re-watch those. They're absolute belters. And we've got more, you know, to show you in future episodes too. So, don't despair and don't ask, oh, where's that yarn? Because don't worry, it's coming. But go back through the back catalogue, have a look. They're cracking yarns. And look, send us a question too.
Any
We are
questions?
collating these questions, folks, so they're not going unnoticed.
There will be a Q&A episode.
ACA@9.com.au. You can follow us on the ACA socials. But most importantly, stay safe and stay fit.
Stay fit. Yeah.
Back to the gym.
Back to the gym.
Back to the gym. Back to the treadmill. See you next time.
See you next time.